Let's go.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hopefully you're doing well. I am going to... music is playing. All right, hey. What's happening, everybody? I am John O'Canute, I guess is what I'm calling myself these days. Hopefully you're doing well. I will lower the tunes on us here. And let's talk about what is going on here because, whoa, music is still playing through my speakers. All right, so I can pause it? Okay, I can pause it. All right, hey, what's going on, everybody? I will pause the tunes while we cover what is going on. Hopefully you're doing well. Thanks for checking in on me as always. Feel free to jump in the chat. Let me know that you're there. And also, I am over on Twitch. So if you are a Twitch user and you don't prefer the, the services provided by Google, you can definitely check those out and find me over on Twitch at John O'Canute as well. So subscribers are always helpful there. That always lets me know when people are interested in that stuff, but also it's a good place to find out where I am. So just let me know and we'll go from there. Okay, now this has been an insane, 2 weeks, but let's just go with 1 week because that's what I'm going with. Chat, not here. Hey, I got my lower thirds thing to work, although I don't think that's the one. But what's going on, chat? Not here. Thanks. Always good that you check in anyway. So, all right, now will this clear? I'm gonna maybe have to manually clear it. Okay. Oh, that's funny. So I just got a text message. I just got a text message from one of my guys saying, hey, heads up on Twitch. Oh, it does? Oh, no. Okay. All right. Hang on. Let's figure this out because there's a lot of stuff going on here and I don't know why it's coming through fine here, Frank, but we will. Okay. First things first, let's get over to Twitch and change the title because it thinks that I am playing Company of Heroes, which I did, I think, once and then never changed it. So Company of Heroes 3, pretty fantastic so far. I haven't gotten to play it much because I am trying to sell my house, and that is quite the chore. So I got realtors coming and going. Today is our first day of showings. And so we're going to have some people come through and tell me what they think of it. Hopefully. Let me log into Twitch here. And I don't have anything spicy to eat, although I still have 4 packets of ramen that I could be eating. I don't have any snacks on stream today, other than I will tell you about a discovery that I made that is pretty awesome. So you're either going to love it or you're going to hate it, one or the other. But I'm going to tell you about that in a minute. All right, let's go into the creator layout. And yeah, it totally says that I'm playing Company of Heroes, and that's not true. Hey, we're just chatting is all we're doing today. My computer is also like freaking out for some reason. So let's just make that full screen and say done. Okay. Eat a ramen uncooked. Oh, jeez. Well, that sounds like that would be torturous. That's for sure. Maybe I'll do that next time. Do I have to eat the sauce straight? Like, do I need to like dip it in the sauce and eat it? Oh my goodness, my face would fall off. That would be so brutal. Yeah, maybe I won't do that. I don't know. It just sounds a little too dangerous. Okay, now Frink claims, and I have good reason to believe him, that the audio sounds compressed on the stream. So let's find out what is going on there. Let me look at my compressor. And I can't because I have a light in front of it. Okay, so the compressor is not really doing anything. My compressor's not doing anything there. Let me check on my phone and hear what it sounds like over on the YouTubes. I'm going to move this microphone back in front of my face. Okay, here we go. All right, let me see what this sounds like. Oh, okay, yikes. So it doesn't sound great. You're right. It actually sounds like it's peaking. So let me pull this back and see what that does. All right, let's try that. It's going to take 20 seconds to get to my phone. All right, here we go. We're going to. All right, let's see how it goes. I guess I need to talk in order for that to work. So, all right, tell me if that's any better. I've basically turned down the microphone, the main input on the microphone. I did turn that up a bit recently. So I did that for a different show that I was working on. That sounds a lot better. I don't know if it's still perfect, but it doesn't sound like it is peaking like it was. So let me know what you guys think of that in the chat, and I will. You need to eat all of it, one part at a time. Oh my goodness. I don't know. I don't know about this. Hey, no matter where you go, there you are. It's good stuff. I am still planning on doing some of those Netgear Switch shows and having those available on my channel. The issue is that Switch hasn't arrived. I haven't circled back with John Hinkle because I'm in the middle of moving, and so not in the middle. I'm in the early stages of moving, and so we definitely. I want to do that, but I need to probably get into my next location before that comes, and before I'll be able to actually do that, because the rack is going to have to get teared down. Whoops! Oh, that shakes the camera. I'm going to have to tear down the rack. I'm going to have to probably take my computer apart and get it ready for shipping. And then I don't know when it will be back. So there is a chance that in the month of July, I will need to be taking a break from this and then coming back after a couple of weeks. So hopefully you just all won't fall away all at once, but we can, let me turn this towards me again. Hopefully you won't all just, no, that's not right. Hopefully you just all won't fall away, but that we'll be able to hang out again soon. So I don't know what that all looks like. I will try and make announcements based on social media and a few other things, but hopefully those changes will move swiftly and I'll be able to get set up in my new place quickly. Now, I don't know because where I'm moving, I don't know what my internet provider is going to be. So at the bare minimum, it'll be Starlink, which will be kind of expensive to get started up. But at the bare minimum, I will have internet. I just hope that I can get a better price somewhere else. What's going on, Angus? Good morning. Hopefully you are doing well. Thanks for stopping on by. Oh yeah, the let me see here. Triggers on completion. How did I do this? On overlay in. I want it to, where are we here? Overlay. On overlay in. I want to, what, overlay out? How do I do this? Overlay input one out. And I want to delay, what did I used to do? Like 12,000? Okay, so let's add. All right, let's see if this works now. So if I go back here and let's close this out. And I fire that overlay. Let's see if it disappears on its own. Today is brought to you by not Starbucks coffee, but Tim Hortons, of course. But it's been sitting on the burner in the coffee pot since 7 a.m. And I just poured this cup now. So, yeesh, that's a doozy. I don't like this title. And it appears to me that this one is, oh, there, it did it on its own. Just took a really long time. So let's do like 9,000 edit. Okay, cool. That actually worked. Now I'm going to change the title because I don't actually like that one. So we're going to input title. I thought it was like... All right, let's browse. I don't know which... I don't know which one it is. I don't remember which one I had before, but let me know how that audio, if it's cleared up or not. Frank, you are the one that said something, so I'm gonna rely on you to let me know if it's better. Better, worse, same? You tell me. Crap, I can't remember which one. Oh, it was one of these. Blue Wedge. All right, so let's do this. And then title? No title. All right, so now we're going to do this. Okay. All right, so socials. You got to like relink the socials to then use this one. So now, oh no, don't exit. Oh, Angus says, oh, you're not getting rid of us that easily. Oh, good. I'm glad. I did have a guy reach out to me yesterday and asked me for some help with a Wirecast device that he has coming up. So more on that later. It's kind of nice that that stuff is still kind of trickling in. Overlay 1 out, 9,000. I'm just adding this auto functionality to this. And so then when I bring Angus's next in, I've got a great way to derail the conversation this morning. Intercom. I'm looking at buying an 8-station Hollyland Solidcom C1 Pro with the hub. Okay. I use one. I don't use the Hollyland one, but yeah, this is a good way to derail this. So let's go ahead and make sure that that auto clears. But Hollyland, what did you say? Hollyland Solidcom C1 Pro. And Solidcom C1 Pro. All right, and your name did not clear, so that trigger didn't work. So on, oh, because it says on transition in, on overlay in, edit. All right, so let's try that now. I will clear this. vMix Social, let's do this again, Angus. Put you in there, and let's wait for that to go clear out. In the meantime, I'm going to pull up my desktop. Man, this is a trick to try and get all this stuff organized. And it looks like your comment went away, so that's good news. Okay, so let's take a look at this Hollyland Solidcom and see what we've got going on, because I'd like to... Solidcom C1 Pro. This looks like it's a one-ear device. Hub-based. Ooh. Dual mics, push-to-talk function, good wideband audio, 1,100 feet, reliable range, ultra-long duration. Ready to go out of the box, announcer function, 3 system. Ooh. All right. Robust with wind noise removal. What is the price on this system? Because it's very similar to the one that I have, except it looks like it's got a few other functions. The one that what I really would like to know is this guy. Oh, that's cool. Can group them. This right here. UAC for direct calls to cloud meetings. Oh, I mean, that's cool for doing remote work. We have been expanding ours at the soundstage to just to get more people on it. The question I have about the receiver is, can you add a line in, basically? So you can do program out into this, and then the program plays in the earphones until you talk. and then it breaks up. That's really what I would like to know more about, just because if that's really what I want. Yeah, I've used a lot of different wired and wireless intercom system. I've bought the basic 2-station standalone kit to confirm that it's worth investing in these. Hollyland has good reputation for a large hub system. The hub can link together with more of its own hubs, plus 2 or 4 wire standard systems. Also has a USB connection for Zoom, etc. It is going to run 6,100 Canadian for a large hub system. Yes, it has program input on the base. See, that's a huge deal. I didn't realize how big it would be, but I really want to have that function. I have a set, the ones that we're using are, they're not, oh shoot, what are they called? Intercom, let's just type in intercom hub and see what comes up. Hollyland, okay. Those are all here. It is a beefy system, that. Intercom wireless. Okay, so Sweetwater. Okay, I have a Saramonic system. And Saramonic is a pretty inexpensive system if you're just looking to kind of get going. We have the 4 set. Where is it here? It's on here. This one. So this isn't going to be as fancy as you have, because yours is going to give you a lot more flexibility and expandability. But we started with this one. It's like $700. Comes with a case. Comes with all the USB charging cables and whatever. We have purchased the battery charging system. And these, for what we're doing in a single room, you know, everybody, the way that it works is you have a master headset and everybody connects to that one. That's worked pretty well for everybody in the same room, where nobody is more than 40, 50 feet from the master headset, which is usually on the program director, which when I'm there is me. And it's pretty clear. I can give commands. I would love to record a behind the scenes of what it is that we do every week, because it's actually quite cool to finally have cameramen, and we have an audio guy who's not normally on a headset, but we have a guy sitting at a board. We've got somebody running ProPresenter 7. We've got somebody directing and cutting the show, and then we've got a couple of camera operators. And so we use up these 4 headsets right away. They also make an expandable hub with an expandable hub system, meaning that you can grow this up to like 8 or 9 people. And what I like about the hub is I think I'm going to be able to add program to the hub. I don't quite know yet, and I haven't been able to like test it out. But this Saramonic system seems to work pretty well. And for the price, it was pretty inexpensive for like clear intercoms. I haven't had any major issues with it. If you flip the microphone up, it mutes it. So you can just tell your team, hey, if you need to talk to me, flip your mic down, but otherwise keep it, you know, in the up position. And that way you don't get any kind of like bleed through. But I would love then to pipe the program through the headset so everybody's on the same page as to what's being used, you know, what's being shown through the stream. So that system's been pretty good. I don't know much about the Hollyland one, but it looks pretty rock solid. Those headsets look really beefy. And Hollyland have done a lot. Like, they've shown up at NAB recently, and they have been around. My first encounter with them actually was at this soundstage a year ago, and the guys had bought a wireless transmission system. But it's like the 400 system, so it would only really be good for like B-roll or B-shots or recording stuff, because the latency on it is just way too long. So it was just a few $100, and then I was introduced to this company, and now I'm seeing them everywhere. So they're showing up all over the place, and I don't know what that means, if they're just trying to make a hard push into the US or not, or North America, because Angus is looking at them. But I've heard a lot of chatter about them, and most people really like them. But I think they're going the way of like Blackmagic, where they're where everybody really likes them, or like you don't like, oh, that's a joke that you use that stuff. Tom Sinclair, who is the goat of the live streaming world in terms of our world, with NDI and vMix and all those sort of elements, he was, I think, given a microphone by Hollyland, which is their answer to DJI's, little clip-on one that everyone's using. Again, the jury is out on whether or not it's the way to go. You guys know that I have a Rode wireless microphone system that I use for my recording. Oh, it's actually right here on top of my camera. So I have the Rode Wireless Go, which is just the first iteration, but you can attach a lapel to it, and it works really well when you're trying to like just do some recording or whatever. Very easy to mount onto a shirt. I personally like to fix it, to the skin of your talent. And so if you're shooting video for somebody, I personally like to use it in that way, just because you get high quality, you get all the low frequencies up to, whatever the microphone can handle. So I really like that. And the jury is out on whether or not I think the Hollyland ones are the right fit for the everyday average user, and I don't know what their price point is. We can look those up. Tom uses those now on his show. He used to use a shotgun microphone that was off camera. Now on his live streams over at Streaming Idiots, you can see it on his shirt every week. So he's using that, and I think he's getting used to finessing those controls and using them every week. Unfortunately, we use FreeSpeak Edge because when we need extra users for a show, that's what every single rental house has. Oh, really? That's interesting. So I've been working in a theater with FreeSpeak Edge all week, a whole bunch of BP24 packs. Yep, that's why I'm missing an arm and a leg and have no firstborn child. No kidding. It's big money with these systems. I have the Saramonic units got side tone. I always find it awkward not being able to hear myself in the systems that don't. No, I don't think they feed your microphone back. It is kind of speaking into a vacuum. However, I only have the one side. So I have a single ear and then the other one's open. So it helps a little bit with the head voice problem, but they do not have the side tone that you're referring to. I've had a great conversation with the Hollyland Rap here in Edmonton a couple of years ago. They made a great impression. Excellent. I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, the 400 wireless system can be a great little problem solver. I just find that you have to use it in like a recording situation where timing doesn't matter, right? But at the soundstage, we're doing everything with iMag, and so timing is everything. So we can't really use it for that. Does Hollyland do or have plans for a Dante interface? And Angus says, I haven't heard about that, but that would be a great addition. I believe Studio Technologies does Dante to 2.4 wire adapters. Yes, the model 545DC. Hollyland does, and that's the big seller point for me. I do generally prefer single ear headsets as well. Yes, I do like the single ear. I thought I would want a 2-ear system until I put the single on. The headsets are a little tight, like they hurt my head after an hour of using it, so I don't know about using all-day production on those, the Saramonic ones. But overall, I've been pretty happy with it, and I'm excited to get a hub for them. What the hub does is so the master headset has like a little orange, I don't know if you could see it here, but the master headset has like a little orange or yellow, marking on it. It says master. When you get a hub, it replaces this one. And so this just becomes a regular headset and they all talk to the hub. Super excited about that because that means they can all talk to each other at any time and they don't need the master to be run, which it seems like a basic function, but it's nice to kind of get away from that. But that actual hub, now we've had a hard time sourcing the hub, which I'm a little bit concerned about because it's like, why aren't these products Saramonic hub? Yeah, why aren't these products a little bit more readily available? I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that, but let me look up the hub and see if I can find some details on it. Whoa, there's like a cool breeze going on in my office right now. That's probably because the front door is open. Um, all right. So, man, I hate this thing. Saramonic Hub. Let's just Google it real quick and I'll pull it up on a website for you. Okay. Hub base station. Here we go. B&H to the rescue. So we ordered another headset and we ordered the hub. The hub takes a battery, but you can also hook it up with DC power. But at the top of this, you can actually add a microphone to this with just like a regular microphone cable and use it as a headset. What I'm hoping to do though is, well, I don't think it'll work because I think if you're playing audio through this headset, it's going to take precedent over everybody else. But I do think that you can talk on top of each other with this system. So we're going to test it out and see if that works. There you go, 5 volts with USB-C. You can also run it with a battery, which we have lots of. It is a little belt clip, which is why you would want it to be on a battery. But then everybody just connects to this hub. So you can expand your intercom system. I guess I need to find like a headphone set that would work with this because then you'd basically add a second headset to it. But anyway, we're just kind of playing around with it. It's not like a very official production level intercom, but man, it is getting it done for what we need to do because it's so nice to be able to communicate with everybody. Before we were like walking back and forth and talking to each other. Now we could literally be in other parts of the building and still be a part of the production. So I love that. It seems to be working out pretty well. Hey, are you going to make a hike out to Infocom? I would love to. However, my schedule is not going to allow me to get to Infocom. So next year, I hope to do the trade show circuit just because that is my business now, is that I need to be up on what's coming out and what's next so that we can kind of make some informed decisions about being on the edge of what's offered. So we are doing a fair bit of, chatter about a bunch of things, but trying to like lead the pack, Hey, what's going on, Zach? Good to see you. Hey, Christian Frink, are you planning to be there? I'll see you at the booth. I think Frink is planning on being there if I'm not mistaken. And so it's pretty exciting that he's going to join them out there. It'll be so nice to have a support agent and a guy that has handled the products and has used the products and has troubleshot hundreds of products at this point, right, Frank? So bravo on, I think you're going out there. It would be great to be out there and meet up with you. I can't even remember when Infocom is. So Infocom 2024. It's coming up though, right? June something? Yeah, June 8th through 14th. Oh, geez, that's like ASAP. Wednesday, a week from Wednesday up until Tuesday. Wow, that's yeah. And Infocom is where a lot of like the church production guys go. So you're going to see a lot of like, well, you'll see a lot of guys, but a lot of smaller time guys show up at this one than NAB or both. So a lot of churches will go to this one. A lot of schools, lectures, all those things. Oh, it's back in Vegas. For some reason, I thought it was in Florida, but I think that was last year. So that's cool. Vegas will be a blast. Yeah, hopefully it's a lot of fun. I hope that Infocom is growing in popularity because, NAB has always been the one that's like overshadowed everybody. But I think Infocom has some good potential, and I hope they do really well. Oh, hey, one thing I was going to mention to you guys. So I discovered something. Actually, my wife discovered something and brought it home. She's a school teacher and had a student ask her if she liked the cookies on Delta flights. Okay, so like the Biscoff cookies. And Holly said, yeah. And she said, oh, what about your kids? And they said, yeah, we like those. So she said, have you tried the Biscoff butter? And I was like, hang on. Biscoff butter? She's like, you have to try it. So then like a couple of days later, this kid shows up at school and hands my wife a container of Biscoff butter. And it is basically the inside filling of a Biscoff biscuit It's just a tube of it. Like it looks like peanut butter, but it's the internal cream of those cookies. I I'm so happy I don't have access to this. This is sold at Costco. I'm so happy I don't have direct access to buy this because I would be broke. It is so good. If you like those cookies on Delta flights, this is available for purchase in the wild and is super addictive. So I have to like pace myself, but you put it on like warm toast. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it is something else. So if you don't know about that, check out the Biscoff cookie butter. Whew, it's so good. So good. Yeah, there you go. Your life will never be the same. Awesome. Zach is headed over to Infocom this year. Okay. Now, hey, don't forget to, if you haven't done so already, which if you're in the chat, I know you have, but if you're just watching, subscribe to that YouTube channel or the Twitch account. Trying to grow both of those so that we get a little bit of a following and a little community going on here. And then when I'm set up in my new place, so you get to kind of follow along the journey of me moving. But when we get set up in a new place and I kind of get my office put back together, it won't be quite as fancy as this, but I'll bring my lights and we'll make it look nice for the time being. There's lots of things that have to happen between now and then in order for it all to kind of be said and done. I'm hoping to actually build an office in an outbuilding, but I will see what happens there because who knows. So that's on the plate to start. We need to get into the house, and then we need to sell this house, and then we need to get into a new house, and then I need to set up my office, and I got to get internet service. So it might be a few weeks before I have everything kind of sorted out, which means that I'll be commuting a lot. When I move down to Tennessee, I'll be commuting a lot to the office, but hopefully we'll get internet at the house and I won't have to use my phone for everything. So there's that. I'm in the process of taking my smart house apart, which I worked for 4 or 5 hours yesterday taking switches out and everything. And there are still like 25 switches that need to come out of the house. So yeah, we're loading up on that. I'm filling up a storage unit that's sitting in my driveway. It's one of those pod units, trying to get everything out. So it's been an intense week. Now I'm going to leave this computer connected as long as I can, but the 10th of June is when the second pod is arriving, which means that pod out there needs to be out of the way before then. So I've got about 10 days to figure that out and to load it up and to finish loading it before that one's got to go away and the new one's going to arrive. And then everything else has to go. So yeah, it's going to be a busy, busy couple of weeks running around with our heads cut off, trying to get everything done. So wish me luck, folks, because I'm going to need it. That's for sure. This image, I think this image looks out of focus. Do you? Like, I think for some reason, it feels out of focus to me. And it might just be the way that I'm looking. It might be trying to like zoom in or fixate on my microphone. I can't really tell. But it just doesn't look sharp. It seems like my camera keeps changing on me, so not too sure. Let me know in the chat what you think of that image. Now, I think I'm streaming in 720. I guess I should find out. Stats for nerds, we are going up 720. So actually, are we? Oh no, there's 1080 option in here. Stats for nerds, I'm going 1080/30, so maybe it's just because the preview is in 720, it looks soft. But I know I changed that recently because I've realized that I was streaming all my stuff in 720, and I was like, well, I have the ability to go 1080. I might as well attempt to do that. But yeah, maybe that's not great for the bandwidth issue here in the house. Can I lower that even more? Ooh, I can. 360. Old school. All right, we'll try and go easy on the. I've had like internet issues past few days. Granted, I've been turning the power on and off in the house a fair bit because taking stuff out. But yeah, this is all happening, which I can't believe. I mean, I have lived more than 20 years in Michigan, and so it seems like kind of the end of a chapter and the beginning of a new one. We're pretty excited about it, but a little daunting too because that's like right around Tornado Alley. So yeah, wish me luck, folks, because not too sure what is going on there. What is going on? Is that what I just see? Am I? Do my eyes deceive me? Michael Curry, what is happening, dude? This is a shout out from. This is a shout out from one of my Canadian boys. This guy stood in my wedding. What's going on, Mike? Hopefully you're doing moving to the woods, back to Canada. That would be a bad idea. I am not moving back to Canada. Matter of fact, I am moving to Middle Tennessee. That's where my job is taking me. However, don't worry, you'll see me in August. No plans have changed there as of today. So, yeah, we're planning on continuing on as usual. But my job is taking me down to the great state of Tennessee. So that is where I will be in a little while. Probably, hopefully, a month or two. Really need to be down there early July if we can. But depends on how quickly this house sells. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. How are you, man? It's good to see you. Frank says, yeah, you look like you're 720. There is a chance that I am. Oh, you know what it is? It's the camera. So I hate the EOS utility. Unless you pay for it, it only does 720 on the camera. So I have been thinking about trying to save an additional $1,000 to buy like a proper Blackmagic, like a micro camera or something like that. So for $1,000, you can get in that game for the micros, and then I can buy an EF lens mount that will change the micro four thirds over to an EF mount, and then all my lenses are EF mounts. So, well, not all of them, but this is an actual M mount, or an M mount or R mount. But yeah, that's I don't know what the deal is with. So I have a Canon RP, and they made the lenses for these for like a hot second, and then they got rid of them. So, hey, congrats, man. Is this what we've talked about before? Yes. So last year, I think at camp, you and I talked about where this might all end up going. So that's kind of come to fruition at this point. And so we are selling our place in Michigan. Our first day of open houses is today at 3:00. So I'm kind of figuring all that out. But yes, we are moving off to Tennessee. As soon as this house sells and we're under contract, then we'll be under contract with a home down there. And at the latest, by middle of July, we're hoping we'll be closing on that house and moving in. So yeah, lots of stuff going on. Send John some B stock cameras. Yeah, I'm not gonna make that request because that seems shady, but I definitely need to find a 1080p camera. So I'm looking at like a Z-Cam or a Blackmagic or something like that we can just use a fixed camera. I don't need a PTZ for this office. But then if I'm using that, then I'll probably move this camera to a secondary shot, either an overhead or, like a over the screen or something like that. I really liked, of course, I got really spoiled at Bird Dog where I could have multiple camera angles. I was running 4 cameras in that studio, 3 of them that were pointed at me, and one of them that was an overhead, a P100 that was an overhead camera. So I think those videos are still up on the Bird Dog John YouTube page, which is gaining subscribers even though I'm not there. So that's sad. I mean, it's sad because I think I'm doing, like, I have twice as many subscribers now when I stop making content. So hey, Bird Dog, you guys should just access that account and start putting more stuff up there, because there's already 500 or 600 people who are looking for technical stuff that are going to that. So there you go. You have an EOS RP. I wouldn't replace it. I just bought a good HDMI capture solution. So there is that. Just get a good HDMI capture solution. Canon still makes RF lenses in huge quantities. I just haven't seen a whole lot of like new stuff come out. And actually, the guy to talk about this, the M series is discontinued, not the R series. Okay. The guy to talk about this is Mike Curry, because he is a pro photographer. So there you go. Among other things, he's kind of he's a multi-talented guy, but he's really good at photography. So hey, so if you want to get a still shot, just get a PF120 or a Mackie. Well, yeah, that would be fine. However, I can get a 4K sensor for $1,000 with the Blackmagic Micro. So The Mackie has that, but has a 4K sensor, I guess. Maybe. Then I wouldn't need an interchangeable lens, but then again, then I wouldn't get an interchangeable lens, right? So the Mackie Ultra is only $1,300 and is 4K. Okay, so that would be $200 more for a non-interchangeable lens camera. I was hoping for under $1,000, but if the Mackie Ultra is something, then maybe there's a Mackie. You know, if we're going to read between the lines, maybe there is something. Yeah, it just comes down to time to get those videos put together. Yeah, tell me about it. That was my life for like 4 years. I always didn't have time to make the videos. That was so frustrating. So I can sympathize with you there. I completely understand that is what's going on. I wouldn't replace the EOS RP. Just get a good HDMI. So here's the thing about the HDMI capture solution on that is you got to change all of the settings so that the screen only shows like the screen, right? Whereas this way with the USB, it outputs that as a clean signal. It's just unfortunate. Oh, the Ultra means 4K. Oh. So the Mackie's probably going to be 1080? Is that what I'm hearing? Will it be full NDI though? Because, let's throw us a bone here. So I can get a 4K sensor for under $1,000, and I pretty much have everything I need to get it going. So again, it's the same price category as the Blackmagic Micro, and the Blackmagic Micro has SDI out, HDMI out, a bunch of things can run on battery. Is not PoE, mind you, right? Mackie? Oh, maybe the Mackie's not PoE. Anyway. Yeah, thanks. Streaming and video production are out of my league. Well, they're kind of out of all of our leagues. We're just learning as we go. There's no set in stone. There's no one person that does it perfectly. So we're all learning, which is kind of the point here. Is we're all just kind of collaborating. We're just talking about intercom systems, which is something I'm kind of new to, and I use a set that I like. Actually, I can even show you a photo. So my brother, I told him, hey, when is your live stream congregation going to get on headsets? And he was like, yeah, that'll never happen. And so I was like, oh, well, we use them over where I am. And he said, oh, really? Send me a picture of that. So I sent him this, and I was like, here they are. They are quite bulky, but they work, and I can communicate with my whole team. So he's like, okay, that's cool. But then I sent him a shot of some of our rig, which is this. So this is where I work. When I go down there, this is where I'm standing usually. And you can see the Sony PTZ controller. We're actually in the process of removing that. I think we've decided to remove it. We're hesitant because one day we had issues and we needed them. But we're getting to the place where we're not needing them necessarily. So, and then there's an X32, there's an X-Keys 64 here, there's a Blackmagic studio monitor, and then we're using a Blackmagic ATEM Constellation that goes to this multi-viewer. So you can see all of what it is that you're doing from there. And yes, that is a ping pong table to the door. Around the corner, though, where you can kind of see the glass pane display area, that's my ProPresenter people, and so they run there. Lighting board is on the ridge right now, but we're like on the windowsill. But and this computer is multi-purpose, but we're using it for various things. So it's a pretty good rig so far. Again, I got 2 camera operators downstairs that run the rigs. We just got the Focus Ring Assist. Oh my word, they make such a huge difference. It's so much easier. The lenses that we're using, these are 6K Blackmagic cameras that we have down there. These are the G2s with the EF mounts, and then we have the 70 to 200 millimeter EF mount on there. And so the focus rings work natively with that lens, and so it's so great. It's so easy to use, and yeah, I really like that rig. I can show you that camera actually. Did I take a picture of that here? Maybe I did. Let me look real quick. I know I took a picture recently of that camera. I just can't remember when it was. One moment, please. Okay, maybe not. All right, I'll find it. I've shown that picture before of the actual rig. If I just type in the keyword camera, it should come up. Here it is. So this is that Blackmagic camera with that EF 70 to 200 mil on it. The camera compared to the lens is like a lightweight, you know, there's nothing to it. So we have added, however, the focus assist, and we're buying the zoom assist. So the zoom demand and focus demand controls, oh man, it's going to make such a big difference for our camera operators to have all those controls at their hands and not have to reach around to touch the lens, because I think it'll add a lot more like smooth operation. So we've got 2 of these, and I'm advocating for a third, mostly because I'd love to have more shots. So yeah, that's what I'm hoping for. All right, we are still going along here. I am going to open my camera real quick on my house, because my realtor is supposed to come back here in a few minutes and drop something off. So I'm just going to open my front door camera. Oh, it's just the mail lady. Oh, and there's mail on our front porch. Hey, that might be my new batteries for my power drills. Hey-oh. So both of my power drills were dead. Mike says, so what does that cost? So the Blackmagic body is 2,500 American. Blackmagic 6K G2. I can pull it up for you. So the Blackmagic, where is it here? It's the only 6K camera they have. So Blackmagic 6K. Let's go with that. You're going to get a lot of like the pocket cams and stuff in this search. There it is. With the EF mount. Yeah, it's 2,500 American. And it's got its own mount and everything. We don't even use that. We use something else. But it's a great camera. You can put any EF mount on it because it's the biggest one they have for, this is a broadcast level camera, and it's the biggest one they have in this format. They've just come out, they've just announced some new ones that'll be pretty nice, but for under $3,000, man, it's hard to pass this up. So this is a great little unit. You know, the lens is going to be $1,200, $1,300, but this, you know, body. So if you can get in under $5,000 with all the bells and whistles of each camera, each broadcast level camera is $5,000 or less. I mean, that's a steal. And then the image on these things is just so good. From where we were to where we are, let me actually open up. From where we were shooting on DSLRs, and we were doing 1080p 30 on those. And now the image is just like night and day. It's way more balanced, and we get the option to, like, I can shoot in RAW pretty much and record it and then do color, color balancing and everything. So let me just run over to my website and my YouTube page, and I will pull up one of kind of our latest live streams. Sorry if this is wreaking havoc on my... All right, so this is Patrick here. All right, so this is what this looks like. This is 6K sensor, and we're running this, I could just run this live like this. 6K sensor running in 1080p 60. Now, we had to call Resi to figure that out, but these are both the Blackmagic cameras that are running in this format. I'm trying to like freeze this on a frame where he wouldn't be upset that I froze it. But the image online and streamed live is super crisp, really nice and clean. And yeah, it makes all of our subjects look really good. So even here, go to Greg, like it's super sharp. Probably doesn't come across on YouTube very well, but yeah, I think it looks really good the way that it's done. People are very happy with it. When we stream it, really happy with the quality of it. So quite like that a lot, and it seems to be working out for us pretty well. Yeah, that's way cheaper than I thought. Yeah, I mean, if you get in, like I said, if you can get in, um, then if you can get in for under 5 grand for the whole rig, and that's including like a Manfrotto, like the tripod's probably $800 that we have, which is a broadcast level tripod, like fluid head and everything. The camera body, $2,500. The lenses, I think we got ours like refurbished for $1,100 or something like that. And then the focus and zoom demand handles that put all the functions of the camera, zoom and focus at where you're holding the actual rig. Those are, I think, total together, that's like $500. So I think that puts you somewhere in the $4,500 range. And then we've bought the studio converters for these, which is basically a single cable connection, which allows you to plug an Ethernet cable into it and then run it to the studio converter, which is a one cable connection that provides power, and then it sends the image back. Well, you can send it back 4K if you want. So send it back 4K, and then we bring that into our switching software. So the camera, I mean, that thing is $1,000, so maybe that pushes us up to 5 grand. But each camera, if we budget 5 grand, we can buy another whole camera rig and have another angle. And I'd be out of cameramen. I've got a rotation, so I've got 2 cameramen every week that run cameras. And I think I've got 3 guys right now, maybe 4 guys that could run a camera if I needed to. Like if I'm there, I have 4 people that can run it, plus myself. But if I'm directing and producing, then, I've got 4 guys that I can call on to kind of make that happen. So it's a good way to be. All right. Now, the question that we've just got from Chad was, are there any parafocal lenses options for the EF mount? I don't know. For those of you keeping score at home, I guess it's parfocal, right? Parfocal lenses are basically your ability to, when the magnification or focal length changes, the lens stays focused. And you are going to need those for broadcast level cameras like these Blackmagics, because the Blackmagics have like an automatic button that you can use, but they don't. Yeah, they don't. You have to adjust the focus every time you zoom in or zoom out. So the EF 70 to 200 Canon lenses are not that style. I don't know if there are any of those or not. There's probably a Micro Four Thirds. The other version of this camera is a Micro Four Thirds, the cheaper version, which is the 4K sensor. There are probably lenses that do that for that mount. I don't know of any EF mounts, but the focus is so fast. Okay, so on the Blackmagic device, let's do this. On the Blackmagic device, they have an option where you can add peaking, which is right here. See this? Peaking. You can add that. I'm sorry, my cursor's not showing up. Okay, well, anyways, over here on the right-hand side, bottom right-hand side, you can see this dial that says peaking. You can turn that up, and that basically any sharp edges that are on the image that are in focus will show up with basically what looks like artifacts on the image. So if you're trying to acquire focus quickly, you can turn peaking on. So I did this for our camera operators, and they found it to be incredibly useful. And now that they have the focus assist, now they're so fast, like they're really quick to getting everything kind of lined up. So they get on the subject, they have peaking turned on the screen. So they get on the subject, they dial the focus until they see those artifacts show up, and then they're good to go, and they can report back, how does that look or whatever. So they work really fast in getting this stuff. And before, I had to have them reach around and change the focal ring. Now they don't have to do that with the focus demand, but also with the peaking on the screen, there's no guessing involved. So they can basically be in focus without me having to tell them. It just depends on how quick they can work. And sometimes if I need to get to them quickly, I'll tell them, hey, focus up. But other than that, they're usually really fast. So it's really good. Great lighting setup. Thanks. I don't know. Do you mean that for the stage or do you mean that for in my office? But thanks. I'll take it as a compliment. I'm seeing a couple of B&H. The DZO 2K Tokina is 3500, or the Canon, which is 4500. Yikes. Yeah, they know what to ask for when it comes to glass, eh? It's not cheap, which is why we have ours and we just do the manual focus. Quite frankly, I love it. I mean, I love having that option. When I get the zoom function set up for them, they are going to be able to, zoom and, come on now, they're going to be able to zoom and focus all at the same time. So pretty excited about that. I think that'll be a good rig, and we'll be able to get our shots quickly. So this stuff that you saw over on YouTube that I showed briefly with Patrick and Greg, if I can open that up again. Where are we here? Live videos. This was last week. We did kind of like a graduation Sunday, which don't necessarily have a bunch of graduates, but we also kind of do. So like we do because we are, oh, come on. I just want to close the chat. Okay. So all of these shots are basically taken with two cameras, with the exception of a kind of an establishing shot, which is done on a DSLR this week. And I think we're going to go with the DSLR, although you can definitely tell the sensor difference. And so here we go. You can see it here. I'll scrub ahead to talking. This is that 4K sensor being rendered down to 1080. This is just a 1080 shot. And you can definitely tell the difference between this shot, which I only go to for a couple of seconds. Then I go back to that 4K. I go back to Cam 1, which is this shot. And it's, really good. It's a good rig. And it's looking, the image on the camera is looking better than real life. You know what I mean? Like colors are more vibrant. Things look really clean, really good. And people at the soundstage who can see what we're doing. So we put the program up on the screens as well. So if Patrick's live preaching, he's up there 3 times. But we put the image up on the screens because when we do a video or, whatever, we want the people in the soundstage to see what it is that we're producing. And people are saying the image on the screens looks better than real life, which is like a massive compliment. Even if they don't mean it, it's 100% a massive compliment because they're saying, yeah, things are looking great. And you can see like where we've come from because back up here. So this is the end of Patrick's lesson. And then we switch to a pre-recorded song, which is actually wife and Patrick playing. But these are the DSLRs and these are the DSLRs and the PTZs. Check this out. Look at that. Look at that color. Look at that. Like, this is before we had proper lighting. This is before we had really like broadcast level cameras. This is before a lot of that. But it just looks so different. It just looks so different. So Holly still looks great, but I think she looks better in the new cameras. And then when we go back, like we go back to the end of this, look, that's that 4K sensor. That's Cam 2. Let's scooch back. Watch. I go to Cam 2 just for like a hot second. That's Cam 2. That just looks so good. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm really happy with the way that it's turning out, where in the direction that we're going. The Canon cameras, for example, like one of my default rigs for my own studio is I like to have it kind of contrasty. Like I like the blacks to be super black, and I like there to be like lighting accents and stuff. That's not really what we're going for, but sure, both. But stage is well balanced. Yes, thank you. That was one of our upgrades that we did. Okay, man, I got to roll, dude. Catch you later. Got to chat with you actually, so I'll be in touch. Let me know, man. Always good to hear from you. Thanks for jumping on the show today. I'm on here once a week on Thursdays. I try to be, so hang out if you can. And it is noon, so I should probably getting back to all the stuff that I got to do. Don't forget, try the Biscoff butter cookie butter. So good. And the first ingredient in this, just to let you know, is Biscoff cookies. So, I mean, you can't go wrong. But all good. But give that a try. I highly recommend it. And, we're going to I got to get some more spicy stuff. I actually have spicy honey downstairs that my wife bought me, and I still have yet to try it. But I'll make some toast up maybe one of these weeks and put some butter on toast or put some butter on toast and then honey on the toast and try spicy honey. Who knows? It smells like red pepper flakes is what it smells like. So maybe we'll give that a go. But in the meantime, take care of yourselves out there, folks. It's always a pleasure to hang out with you and to chat. I didn't know what necessarily we were going to cover today, but here we are doing it all. So thanks for coming by. More on things soon. Maybe we'll see how the next week goes. We'll have showings and stuff. So stay tuned to Instagram and to YouTube for announcements on when I can go live, because people can request showings at any time. So be sure that you stay tuned, and I'll let you know what the plan is for the show going forward. But one of these days, we'll get back to our regular schedule, and it'll be all good. So take care of yourselves out there, folks, and we will see you all in the next one. Hopefully next week on Thursday at 11 o'clock Eastern time, right here at John O'Canute. Take it easy, guys. Bye. Hey, Angus, you have a good day too, man. Later.